Do you think that your game would have been better in today's version of the NBA than when you came out?
Don't matter. My game is vintage. Playing any era.
I just think there's more acceptance now of the scoring guard, where when you came out,
that was
go
who
ahead.
that was who we were. Iverson and myself, we came in to do that. We didn't go high in the draft because they watched us in college. They say, oh, we want that. That's going to make people jump out their seat. Oh, you know what I'm saying? That's what the fans pay the money for. They pay to jump out their seat. Obviously, they want to see you win, of course. But, it's such a fine line. Because I know from winning championships in China, I'm like, wow, when the organization and the team is on the same page and everybody, it's easy to win the championship then. But when everybody's not on the same page and you got this going on and that going, it ain't gonna work in the NBA. It's only probably like 5 teams really trying to win the championship. Everybody else is making money. They're not. Come on, man. Let's be for real. Everybody's not trying to win a championship in the NBA.
No, you're right. Did you, when you came out, because I remember, again, the exposure, the coverage isn't the same as it was now, but there was like, hey, Iverson's going 1, Camby's going 2, Sharif, but there was a little conversation like, is Marbury actually better? Is he going to go 1? Did you ever think there was a chance you were going to go 1?
I worked out for the Sixers. So, that was the only chance that I had. I think, as history was told, Philly needed Iverson and Iverson needed Philly. So that was really a match. So Iverson was supposed to go 1. He played well enough to be the number 1 pick in college. He did 2 years. He got, the accolades that he was supposed to get, from doing what he does on the basketball court. And John Thompson was a big help to that. As Iverson is probably pound for pound the best guard 6 foot and under ever. Him and Tiny. But there's no guard that you've ever seen do what he did.
Yeah.
The whole as a little guy.
Yeah, no, especially back then too, with the finishing and landing on the floor and getting back up every time.
Finish, jumpers, everywhere, everything.
When you think back to the beginning, you were just talking about like being on the same page and everything. And look, I've read everything. I've watched your documentary. I know you've talked about it a million times, but like when you think about kind of being young and trying to find your place, how do you think back on the Minnesota years?
I think I had a great experience in Minnesota. I learned a lot. Actually, I learned the NBA game from Flip Saunders. Flip Saunders is an amazing coach, amazing human being. When he passed, it hurt because he played a very important role from the beginning coming into the NBA. And, my experience there was amazing. I couldn't give 7 years of my life to 40 below weather and snow. I just said, I picked my life. I love basketball. Don't get me wrong, but hold up. This is still a business, people. Let's not have any misconceptions about what this really is. And if I can choose to go where I want, I can do that. That's my decision. It's my right. If I'm a free agent, they didn't have to trade me. They could have kept me and said, we're not going to do that. I didn't hold a gun to anyone's head and said, if you don't trade me, I'm going to blow your brains out. I didn't do that. That's not what happened. I said, I'm not going to resign. So I think that you guys should get someone else so you won't lose me for nothing. You'll get something for me instead of me just walking because I'm not going to sign because I don't want to live in Minnesota. And they couldn't deal with that. That was the truth. I told that to Glenn Taylor to this day. I'm like, and you can say anything you want to say about me, but I'm not going to lie to you about nothing that's going on or something that happened. You know what I'm saying? So for me, being able to have had that opportunity to tell him that and express that to him one-on-one, I thought that was it was remarkable as a young man coming in the lead. I'm like, look, this is just not gonna do it for me. People say, "Oh, I was jealous of Kevin." I said, "For what?" I said, "I can't make no more money than what they're gonna offer me. It's a ceiling. It's the max. Why I'm getting mad about me getting the max? Like, I can't do nothing about the contracts that were before. Just like we can't do nothing about the contracts guys are getting now." I heard Charles Barkley say, "Oh, he want to wake his mother up from the grave so she could have him now because of the money guys are making right now." And I was like, really? I'm like, I thought, what about being a pave maker for the young generation? What happened to that? Like, it's great to see these guys get the money that they're getting. I mean, if the teams are paying that, they got to be making more than that to pay that. So what's the problem? I don't get it. It's great. It's a great opportunity for young guys to make money playing basketball.
Is there any part of you now when you look at basically every few months we get a new guy that's like, I'm out of here, where you're like, man, you shit on me so hard 25 years ago and now this?
Oh, you know what? Because it's part of basketball. It's part of I'm a Knicks fan. I was hard on Knicks players too. I'm a diehard Knicks fan. I grew up. I'm from New York. I'm from Coney Island, so the Knicks was what it was growing up. Period. Bernard King. That's what it was. So, oh man, what's wrong with him? Why he can't? So I get it. You don't win in New York, you gonna hear it. That's just what it is. Period. You got to show up in NY. The city's so nice they named it twice. New York, New York. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's all understandable. So take it in stride.
I got a couple more things. When you look at somebody like Westbrook now, who's trying to kind of figure out who he has to be as a player. The Lakers want him to do some different things, or things that he's never done. He's a ball dominant guy. He's put up numbers, but it's not working out. And I know for you at the end, like, I couldn't believe when I was looking back at it, like, the NBA, like, 31, you were done. Like, when you see his situation, what do you think about? Like, when you see what's going on and all the criticism and the disconnect, how does that make you feel? And if there's any comparison to how you felt towards your end?
Russell Westbrook is a top 75 player in the NBA. He's done some individual things that not many have done. I think with all of what's going on as far as the Lakers and how they played and how he played and his role, and if they win, nobody speaks about that. But there are other factors of why they lost. So it's not just specifically geared towards what Russell Westbrook is doing or how he's playing. Russ plays the way how he plays, and he's figuring out how to play with somebody who's ball dominant and LeBron as well. So when you have somebody that is used to having the basketball, and then you got another guy who never came off screens, never came off down screens, basically is always creating opportunities for other people and for himself, then now, it's a little difficult. So who's going to make the adjustment? The best player is supposed to make the adjustment. So now you gotta allow Russell to be able to do what he does. If you saying that you want him to come here because you've watched him play, you've seen him play, you played against him, and LeBron and Davis, them guys knowing who Russell Westbrook was before he got there. So you can't be that smart of a basketball player and not know, who you're getting and who you're going to be playing with. You know who you're going to be playing with. So who's making the adjustment? So it can't be blamed on Russell Westbrook. He brings his game and his fire to the game. And I watched him, and I was listening to Jalen Rose, and he was speaking about Westbrook. He was like, basically, like, it looked like he lost his fire. And I seen him one time, like, yeah, as a player, you're trying to win. You're trying to do what is needed to win, and you're being criticized and people saying the things that they're saying, but he still go out and he do it. So he still go fight. And I respect him. I got a lot of respect for him.